March 14, 1968, 2:47 a.m. Khe Sanh, South Vietnam. The air is thick with rain and the smell of cordite. A Marine squad hunkers in a shallow trench, outnumbered 10-1 by North Vietnamese regulars. They've been under siege for weeks. Bodies pile up like cordwood, but this night it's different. Sergeant Jack Harlan lies face down in the mud, blood pooling under his chest. His M16 is shattered beside him. The enemy medic checks his pulse, nods to the squad leader. "Dead," he says in broken English. They drag him aside, move on to the next foxhole. 30 seconds. That's all it takes for the world to flip. The NVA platoon advances, rifles sweeping the dark. They think the line is broken. Harlan's squad is down to 5 men, ammo low, radios silent. One burst from an AK-47 and it's over. But Harlan isn't gone. Not yet. To understand how a man cheats death like that, you go back. Jack Harlan was born in 1939, a steelworker's son from Pittsburgh. Grew up in the mills, where the blast furnaces never cooled. At 18, he enlisted in the Marines, not for glory, but because the draft was coming anyway. Basic at Paris Island broke him down and built him up. By 65, he was in country, humping the boonies around Da Nang. Harlan wasn't the hero type. No speeches, no medals pinned on his chest for show. He was steady, the guy who fixed the radio when it crapped out in a monsoon, or shared his last sea ration when a kid from Jersey shook too hard to eat. But war has a way of testing that steadiness. His first firefight was at Chu Lai, incoming mortars. A buddy steps on a punji stake. Harlan drags him 200 yards through rice paddies, enemy tracers whipping past. The kid lives. Harlan gets a Purple Heart, but he shrugs it off. Just did what needed doing. By 67, he's a sergeant, leading a platoon in the Central Highlands. Hill fights, ambushes, the kind where you smell the enemy before you see them. One night near Pleiku, his unit gets hit hard. NVA sappers breach the wire. Harlan spots the shadows first. He grabs a grenade, rolls it under the lead man. Boom! Chain reaction. 5 down, but a frag shrapnel nicks his arm. He binds it with a bootlace, keeps fighting till dawn. His CO later says, Harlan doesn't panic. He just works the problem. That's the measure of the man. Not fearlessness, calculation. In a war where boys turned to ghosts overnight, Harlan stayed whole. He wrote letters home about the heat, the leeches, never the killing. His wife Mary kept them in a shoebox. She didn't know half of it. Khe Sanh changes everything. The base is a meat grinder. 6-0-0 Marines against 20-0-0 NVA. Siege starts January 24th. By March, they're down to basics. Dog tags for ammo. Harlan's squad rotates in on the 10th. Perimeter duty, the hills called 881 North. Pocked with craters, barbed wire tangled like veins. That night, the rain starts at midnight. Sheets of it, turning the ground to slurry. Intel said the NVA was probing, not assaulting. Wrong. At 2:30 a.m., the first flares pop. Then the mortars. Whoomp whoomp, dirt rains down. Harlan's on the left flank, 6 men total. Private Ruiz spots movement. Contacts, north. AK fire stitches the trench. Bullets snap like whips. Harlan drops a man at 50 yards. His M16 jams on the 3rd burst. He switches to his 45, picks off another, but they're closing. Grenades arc in. One blows Ruiz's leg off. Harlan hauls him back. But a round catches him square in the chest. Vests don't stop 7.62 at that range. He hits the mud, world blurring. Last thing he sees, his corporal, Ramirez, going down screaming. The NVA overruns the position. They bayonet the wounded, strip the dead. Harlan's body cools in the rain. The medic prods his neck, no pulse. They figure him for 22, like the others. The platoon pushes forward, aiming for the CP tent 300 yards back. Victory smells close, but Harlan's heart kicks. Not a miracle. Adrenaline, maybe, or the cold shock snapping him awake. He coughs blood, rolls onto his side, pain like fire in his ribs. The vest stopped the worst. Cracked plates, bruised lung. He was out, not dead. 30 seconds gone. The NVA are 20 yards ahead, backs turned. He gropes for his knife. The 45's under him slick with mud. Footsteps squelch nearby, a straggler reloading. Harlan moves silent like hunting deer back home. One hand over the man's mouth, blade up under the ribs. Twist, the body slumps. Now, the real fight starts. Harlan grabs the AK from the corpse. It's loaded, fresh mag. He low crawls to the trench lip. The NVA platoon, 25 men, fans out, shouting orders. Their officer points toward the wire. Harlan aims. Single shot. The officer drops, headshot. Confusion ripples through them. They spin, firing blind into the dark. Bullets chew the earth inches from Harlan's face. He doesn't flinch. Pops up, sprays a burst. 2 down. The platoon scatters, but not fast enough. Harlan's squad remnants, 3 left, hear the shots. They rally from cover, adding fire. The NVA counter. Mortars whistle in. One lands short, showering shrapnel. Harlan feels it nick his shoulder, ignores it. He shifts position, flanks a machine gun nest. The gunner swings too late. Harlan empties the mag. The gun falls silent. Seconds tick. The platoon leader screams retreat. But Harlan's not done. He grabs a satchel charge from the dead sapper. Russian make, wired for boom. FSIT runs low through the wire. The NVA bug out, but clustered now. Harlan lobs it, perfect arc. Detonation lights the hill like daylight. Screams cut short. Bodies fly. By 2:52, it's over. The assault crumbles. Reinforcements from the base arrive. Flares turning night to day. Harlan stands, chest heaving, AK smoking. Medics swarm. "Thought you were KIA, Sarge." He nods, spits blood. "Not today." The hill holds. Casualties, 18 NVA dead confirmed. Harlan's squad loses 2 more, but the line doesn't break. Brass calls it a miracle. Harlan gets the Navy Cross, pinned on in a field hospital. He doesn't talk about it, just asks for a smoke. War doesn't care about heroes, it just grinds on. But in those 30 seconds, one man tipped the scale. Khe Sanh endures another month. Harlan rotates stateside by summer, lives quiet after, factory job, 2 kids, dies in 98, heart giving out. Mary keeps the box of letters and the medal tucked away. To understand how a man pulls himself from the mud when the world says he's finished, you look at where he came from. Jack Harlan entered the world in 1939, in a row house off Carson Street in Pittsburgh. The kind of place where the Monongahela River carried the stink of steel mills day and night. His father, Tom, worked the furnaces at Jones and Laughlin, 12-hour shifts, lungs black from coke dust. Jack's mum, Ellen, scrubbed floors at a diner to make ends meet. They had 3 kids, Jack, the middle one. Summers meant dodging slag from the mills, winters biting cold off the Allegheny. He was a quiet boy, not the type to scrap in alleys or chase trouble. At school he fixed things, bikes with bent frames, radios that hissed static. By 14, he shadowed his dad at the plant after classes, learning the grind. "Work beats dreaming," Tom told him once, wiping sweat from his brow. Jack nodded. He saw the men who broke under the heat, backs twisted, eyes hollow. Didn't want that. Wanted steady. High school ended in 57. Draft loomed like a shadow. Harlan signed up for the Marines that fall, not for adventure. Bills piled at home, and the Corps promised pay. Boot camp at Paris Island hit like a hammer. DI screaming at dawn. Sand in your teeth during crawls. Harlan pushed through, didn't complain when blisters burst, just taped them, kept moving. Earned his Eagle, Globe, and Anchor by Christmas. First posting, Camp Lejeune, guard duty, drills. Then orders came for Vietnam in 65. He shipped out on a troop transport, sea spray mixing with the fear in men's guts, landed in Da Nang under a sky thick with humidity. The air tasted wrong, jungle rot and diesel. His unit, 3rd Marines, humped patrols around the base, rice fields that sucked at your boots. Villages where kids begged for candy, eyes too old for their faces. Harlan adapted quick, no wide-eyed rookie. He checked his gear twice, shared smokes with the point man. First real taste of it came in October, near Hill 22. Charlie probed the wire at dusk. Small arms cracked the night. Harlan's fire team took cover in a ditch. Incoming rounds pinged off helmets. He spotted a VC sapper, 30 yards out, grenade in hand, squeezed off 3 shots. The man dropped, explosive rolling harmless, no boom. Harlan's corporal clapped his shoulder. "Good eyes, Harlan." That built him. But war ramps up. By December he's in the Iron Triangle, Operation Cedar Falls, sweeps through hedgerows thick as walls, booby traps everywhere. One afternoon, his squad hits a bunker complex. AK fire from slits in the earth. They call in napalm, orange fireballs that suck the air. Harlan covers the advance, laying suppression. A Marine ahead steps on a mine. Blast shreds his legs. Harlan's there first, ties a tourniquet from his web belt, drags him 100 yards to the Medevac LZ. Tracers zip overhead, close enough to singe hair. The bird lifts off. Kid makes it to the hospital ship. No parade for that. Just a nod from the LT. Harlan's file notes it, reliable under fire. He writes Mary about the rain that never stops, skips the blood. They married in '64, right before he shipped. She waited tables in Pittsburgh, saved every letter. "Come home whole," she wrote back. '66 turns brutal. Harlan rotates to the DMZ. Hill fights near Compiègne, mud trenches, rats the size of cats. NVA artillery pounds daily. One barrage lasts 48 hours. Shells walk the line, cratering positions. Harlan's platoon loses 8. He's in a command post when a round hits close. Concussion knocks him flat, ears ringing like bells. Digs out, rallies the survivors, sets up a listening post under the barrage, picks up enemy chatter on the radio, coords for the next salvo, calls it in. Artillery reverses the rain. NVA pull back. His CO pulls him aside after. "You got ice in your veins, Sergeant." Promotion follows. E5 now. Harlan doesn't celebrate. Just cleans his M16, checks ammo counts. Knows luck runs thin. Deeper in, 67, Central Highlands, a Shao Valley. Monsoon season turns trails to rivers. His platoon ambushes an NVA supply line. Night insertion, faces blacked out. They wait in the elephant grass. Dawn breaks. Porters appear, strung out like ants. Burst fire. Chaos erupts. Harlan flanks left, takes down 3 with controlled shots. But the point man trips a flare. Spotlight on them. NVA counter from the high ground. Bullets whip through the brush. Harlan grabs the radio, calls for gunships. While waiting, he shifts fire teams, covers the wounded. One Loach helicopter arrives early. Rockets slamming the ridgeline. Dust off extracts them at dusk. Body count, 22, NVA, 2 Marines KIA. Harlan's arm catches a splinter from a tree burst. Deep gash. He stitches it himself with fishing line, fights on. Medics shake their heads later. Tough bastard. That's Harlan. Not charging hills yelling. Assessing. Moving when it counts. Letters home mention the green, endless, choking, never the close calls. Mary sends photos of the house, their dog. Keeps him grounded. By late '67, fatigue sets in. Units rotate, but the war doesn't. Harlan's seen friends zippered in bags. Heard the screams that echo. Still he leads. Teaches rookies to listen for the snap of branches. The pause in birdsong. "Enemy's always there," he says. "You just find him first." Khe Sanh looms. Intel buzzes about a big push. Harlan's squad preps in Quang Tri. Crates of sea rats, extra bandoliers. They truck north January 20th. Base sprawls in a valley, surrounded by karst hills like broken teeth. 600 Marines dug in. NVA masses across the border, tens of thousands. Siege hits day 1. Mortars, probes. The ground shakes constant. Harlan's unit holds the northwest perimeter. Hill 881 north. Craters from B-52 strikes pock the slope. Barbed wire sags in the red dirt. They rotate in February 10. Dig foxholes deeper. Harlan checks sightlines, sets claymores. "Eyes open," he tells them. Rain starts heavy by month's end. Mud slides into trenches. Ammo runs tight. Priorities to the big guns. March 14th. Tension coils. Patrols spot sappers prepping. Harlan's on watch that night. Squad, 6 men, mix of vets and cherries. Ramirez, the corporal, solid from Texas. Ruiz, kid from L.A., quick with a joke. They share a last smoke before dark. Harlan feels it. The quiet before. "Stay frosty," he says. Flares hang at midnight. Then the world cracks open. The mortars fall first. Heavy thuds that rattle teeth. Dirt sprays into the trench like buckshot. Harlan's squad flattens. "Incoming!" Ramirez yells, but it's drowned in the roar. The first round hits 20 yards left, cratering the wire. Shrapnel whistles. Ruiz ducks, helmet dented. No blood yet. Harlan's been here before. Remembers Contian, 66. Barrages that lasted days. Shells walking the line one after another. He lost his radio man then. Kid from Ohio, vaporized in a foxhole. Harlan dug the hole himself, hands raw, while rounds kept coming. That night he learned to count the whistles. High pitch meant short, low meant long. You roll left or right, pray the mud swallows you. It saved him twice, now he counts again. 1 whistles high. He shoves Ramirez down. Blast erupts behind them. Ears ring, but they're whole. The NVA doesn't wait. Small arms crackle from the tree line. AK bursts, green traces arcing low. The squad returns fireblind. Harlan pops up, sights a shadow at 40 yards, squeezes. The M16 bucks, man drops, rifle clattering, but they're probing smart. Flanking left through the brush, Harlan's seen this in the Highlands. A Shao Valley last year. NVA sappers in the dark. Cutting wire, silent. His platoon waited, then hit them with claymores. Boom chain, 10 down before they fired a shot. Harlan led the mop-up, knife in one hand, flashlight in the other, stabbed one sapper mid-crawl. The man's eyes went wide, then empty. Harlan wiped the blade on his sleeve, moved on. No time for shakes. Here the wire holds for now. But the rain slicks everything. Boots slide in the red clay. Harlan shifts position, covers the left. "Ruiz, watch your lane." The kid nods, fires wild. A bullet snaps past Harlan's ear, close, hot. He doesn't jump. Thinks of Pleiku, that sapper breach. Grenade under the lead, 5 kills. Arm nicked, but he bound it quick, kept the line. CO said he worked the problem. That's what he does now. Counts heads, 6 still up. Emo check, 2 mags left for him. Flares pop overhead, turning night grey. Shadows sharpen. NVA advance in bounds. 20, maybe 30. Rifles sweep. 1 grenade sails in. Russian pineapple, tumbling end over end. Harlan lunges, kicks it back. It explodes mid-air, 5 yards out. Fragments pepper the sandbags. Ramirez grunts, hit in the leg. Blood soaks his pant leg fast. "I'm good," he says. Tying it off. Harlan nods, lays cover fire. Drops another at the wire. The assault builds. Mortars lift, shift to the base proper. But the infantry presses. Bayonets fixed. They hit the trench line. Hand to hand now. Harlan grabs his entrenching tool, swings at a shadow climbing over, connects with a crunch, skull or jaw, doesn't matter. The man tumbles back, screaming. Harlan's breath steams in the cold. Chest tight from the old wound, but he ignores it. Like Da Nang first tour. Pulled that kid 200 yards through paddies, tracers low. Legs burned, but he didn't stop. Kid lived because of it. Ruiz screams. NVA on him, knife flashing. Harlan spins, fires from the hip. Burst rips the attacker's side. Ruiz slumps, leg gone below the knee. Blood pumps. Harlan drops beside him, presses a compress. "Hang on!" Ruiz's eyes glaze, but he grips Harlan's arm. "Sarge!" The kid trails off. Harlan hauls him back 10 feet, deeper into the trench, covers him with a poncho, partial shield, firing now one-handed. The platoon overruns the center. Ramirez falls back, calling on the radio, static mostly. "This is Bravo 3, heavy contact." No reply. Base is slammed too. Harlan's alone with it. NVA pour in, shouting in Vietnamese. Orders barked sharp. He low crawls to a bend, peeks. Sees the medic first, treating a wounded man, back turned. Then the leader, pointing south. They're through. Harlan's M16 clicks empty. He ejects the mag, slams in the last. Fires deliberate, one down clutching his throat. They spot him. Bursts rake the trench. Bullets chip dirt. One grazes his boot. He rolls, comes up firing, hits the leader, chest shot, man folds, chaos spreads. But a round catches Harlan square. 7.62 through the vest. Impact like a mule kick. Air whooshes out. He hits the mud face first. World tilting. Blood fills his mouth, metallic. Vision swims. Ramirez dragging Ruiz. Shadows closing. The NVA swarms. Bayonets probe the bodies. One prods Harlan's side. No twitch. The medic kneels, fingers on his neck. Pulse faint, then nothing. Dead, in broken English. They nod, drag him aside like trash, move to the next hole. Harlan's squad breaks, 3 left, falling back. The platoon pushes 300 yards to the CP. Rain washes the blood. 30 seconds tick by in the dark. Harlan's body cools, but something stirs. Heart stutters, kicks hard, not dead. Vest cracked the round, bruised ribs, punctured lung maybe. Pain blooms white hot. He coughs quiet, rolls slow. Mud sucks at him. The 45's pinned under his chest, cold steel. He gropes, frees it. Footsteps fade ahead. He's done this math before. Iron Triangle, that bunker fight. Pulled the Marine from the mine, traces everywhere. Knew when to move, when to wait. Now wait. The straggler lags, reloading his AK. Harlan rises silent, knife from his boot. One hand clamps the mouth, blade slides up. Twist. Body heavy, but he lowers it easy. Grabs the rifle, full mag, clean. The platoon fans out, 25 strong. Backs to him. Harlan crawls to the lip, aims the officer, clean headshot, crack. Man drops, they whirl, fire wild. Bullets plow the earth near his face. Dirt stings eyes. He doesn't blink, bursts back, 2 fall. Squad remnants here rally from the dark. Fire joins, mortars scream in. One shorts, shrapnel bites Harlan's shoulder. Warm blood trickles, but he shifts. Flanks the MG nest. Gun swings late. He empties the mag. Silence from it. NVA scatter but cluster at the wire. Harlan spots the satchel. Sapper's charge, live. Hefts it, low run. Lobs it true. Blast erupts. Bodies scatter like leaves. Light flares the hill. The assault breaks. 2:52 a.m. Reinforcements pound up, flares blooming. Harlan stands, rifle hot. Medics rush. KIA my ass, Sarge. He spits red, nods. Hill holds. NVA count 18 down. Squad pays 2 more. Line intact. Brass dubs it stand down miracle. Harlan's Navy Cross comes later. Hospital bed. He takes the pin. Asks for coffee. War rolls on, indifferent. But those seconds, they bent the night. Khe Sanh breathes another day. Harlan ships home by June. Factory whistle, family dinners, quiet end in 98. Letters and medals stay with Mary. Proof one calculated breath can shift the grind. The rain hammers down harder now, turning the trench into a river of red mud. Harlan wipes his eyes, tastes the grit. The NVA doesn't let up. Their shouts cut through the downpour. Sharp commands, urgent. More shadows swarm the wire, cutting through with bolt cutters that snap like bones. Harlan's squad is down to 4, counting him. Ramirez binds his leg tighter, fires one-handed from the lip. Ruiz moans under the poncho, blood seeping through. The kid's fading fast. Harlan reloads quick, mags running dry. He spots 2 NVA low-crawling right, aiming to flank. They've done this before, Highland style, silent until the knife work starts. He remembers a show, that ambush gone wrong. Flare popped early, pinned them down. He shifted teams under fire, bought time for the gunships. Cost 2 good men. Now he doesn't hesitate, lifts the M16, squeezes off a burst. The lead crawler jerks, rolls still. The second bolts up, sprays wild. Bullets stitch the sandbag next to Harlan's head. Dirt explodes in his face. He drops low, heart steady. Rolls left, comes up behind a crater. Fires again, hits the runner in the back. Body flops into the mud, but the main push hits center. Grenades fly in pairs now. One lands short, blows a chunk of trench wall. Ramirez yells, "Grenade!" Harlan dives. Covers Ruiz. Blast roars. Shrapnel pings off his helmet. Heat washes over him, singes his sleeve. He shakes it off, grabs his .45. Close work. The NVA breaches. First man over the wire, bayonet gleaming wet. He lands in the trench, eyes wild under the helmet. Ramirez meets him, butt of his rifle cracking the jaw. Man staggers, but another follows. Harlan lunges, drives the .45 into the chest. Trigger pull. Muzzle flash lights the face. Young, scared. Body slumps against him, heavy. Harlan shoves it aside, spins. Third one coming, knife high. He sidesteps like drilling back at Lejeune. Elbow to the throat, then the blade from his boot. Up under the ribs. Twist. The man gurgles, slides down. Breath comes short now. Chest aches from the old hits. Con Tien barrage. That near miss. Ears still ring from it sometimes, but no time. The platoon pours in, 10, 12 strong. They're organized, not panicked. Officer barking from the rear, pointing lanes. They fan out, clearing foxholes, systematic. Bayonets probe, rifles butt the wounded. Screams echo, short cut off. Harlan falls back to the bend, drags Ramirez with him. Radio! Ramirez shakes his head, antenna snapped. Dead air. Base is lit up behind them, tracers lacing the sky. Mortars walk the perimeter, whoomp after whump. One hits 50 yards off, shakes the ground. Harlan peeks out, sees the medic kneeling over a casualty, bandages out. NVA wounded, clutching a gut shot. The leader stands nearby, map light low, directing the advance. They're through the line, pushing for the CP. 300 yards. If they hit it, the hill falls. Harlan's mind races calm. Counts the odds. 25 against 3 now. Ruiz out. Ammo. 1 mag left, half for the .45. He's been here. Iron triangle, that mine blast. Dragged the kid under fire, tourniquet tight. Knew the LZ was hot but moved anyway. Lived because he picked the moment. Now he picks it. Clicks the M16 selector to semi. Last stand. He rises slow. Aims through the rain. First shot takes the officer in the chest. Man folds, light drops. Confusion hits them like a wave. Shouts turn sharp. Fia Sao! Fia Sao! They spin, rifles sweeping. Bullets rake the trench walls, chips flying. One grazes Harlan's arm, burns like rope. He ignores it, fires again. Drops a rifleman clutching his leg. They zero in, bursts chewing the dirt around him. He rolls into the crater, mud cold on his skin. Ramirez adds fire from the side, picks one off, but a grenade arcs true this time, lands 5 feet away. Harlan yells, "Down!" Blast erupts, force slamming him back. Ears pop, world muffles. Shrapnel tugs at his vest. One piece lodges in his thigh. Pain flares, but he pushes up. Ramirez isn't moving, face down, blood pooling. Harlan crawls to him. Checks pulse, weak. Hang in. No time. The NVA closes, footsteps splash close. Harlan empties the M16, controlled shots, 3 down. Casing ejects hot, spent, clicks empty. He slams in the .45, thumb hammers back. Last rounds. A shadow looms over the lip. He fires up twice, hits the chest. Man topples in, rifle clattering. Harlan grabs it, AK, familiar weight. But another burst catches him from the side. 7. 62-round punches through the vest, center mass. Impact drives the air out like a sledge. Legs buckle. He hits the mud face down, chest compressing. Blood bubbles in his throat. Copper taste. Vision blurs. Rain patters on his back. He hears them now, boots squelching. Bayonets test the bodies. Prod Ramirez, then Ruiz. No sounds from them. One prods Harlan's shoulder. Nothing. The medic's voice accented, "This one, check." Fingers press his neck cold, pulse thready, then stops under the pressure, or seems to. Dead. They grunt agreement, drag him rough like a log to the side. Mud sucks at his boots. The platoon reforms, moves past. Orders snap, forward to the CP. Harlan lies still, world narrowing. Pain throbs deep. Ribs cracked, lungs seeping. The vest took the brunt, ceramic plates shattered, but the round didn't penetrate full. Adrenaline fades, cold seeps in. Rain washes his face. 30 seconds stretch. The NVA advances, backs turned, shadows in the flare light. Footsteps fade, alone in the dark. His heart stutters, then kicks, not gone, not yet. Breath rasps quiet, blood flecked. He rolls slow, Mud resisting, gropes for the 45. Pinned under him, Slick, fingers close on it, pulls free. The straggler lags behind, 10 yards, fumbling a reload. Harlan rises silent, knife ready. One hand over the mouth, blade finds the gap. Twist, body sags. He lowers it easy, takes the AK, loaded, fresh. The platoon fans out ahead, 20 yards now. Voices carry, victory close. Harlan low crawls to the edge. Rain masks the sounds. He sights the new leader, points, finger tightens. Crack! The shot echoes sharp through the rain, muffled by the downpour. The new leader jerks, head snapping back. He crumples into the mud, helmet rolling loose. The platoon freezes for a beat. Then pandemonium. Shouts erupt, urgent overlapping Vietnamese. Rifles swing wild, muzzles flashing orange in the dark. Bullets tear into the trench wall above Harlan's head. Dirt cascades down, gritty on his skin. He doesn't move. Breathes steady, shallow. Chest screams with every inhale, ribs grinding, lung wet with blood. But the pain sharpens him. Like that mind blast in the triangle, focus cut through the fog. He shifts left, 2 feet, mud sucking at his elbows. The NVA scatters, some drop prone. Others spray fire blind into the night. Tracers whip past, green streaks slicing the rain. One clips a tree branch overhead, bark exploding. Harlan pops up slow, AK braced, squeezes the trigger, short burst. 2 men drop, clutching throats. Their rifles clatter, unfired. His squad remnants stir. From the shadows, a voice. Private Ellis, the quiet one from Ohio. Sarge, that you. M16 cracks join the fray. Ramirez, if he's breathing, adds a shot. Weak, but enough. The NVA pivots, caught between. Their advance stalls. Officer down, no orders. Men hesitate, eyes darting. Harlan advances now. Low crouch, knife in offhand. He flanks right, using the craters for cover. Footsteps splash behind him. A straggler closing. He spins, drives the blade first, up under the armpit. Man gasps, rifle dipping. Harlan finishes with the AK stock to the temple. Crack. Body slumps silent. Mortars whistle again. Incoming. High pitch, short round. Harlan dives into a shell hole, water cold to his waist. Boom shakes the hill, shrapnel hissing like angry bees. One pings off his boot. He waits it out, counts the echoes. 3 seconds, clear. Up again. The platoon clusters at the wire. 15 left, maybe. Panicked now. One man fumbles a grenade, pulls the pin wrong. It rolls free. His own scream cuts short. Blast shreds him and 2 beside. Limbs scatter, wet thuds in the mud. Harlan uses it. Bursts fire. Controlled. 3 rounds. Picks off the exposed. Bodies pile, blocking their retreat. Psychologically, it's breaking them. He sees it in the flashes, the wide eyes, the fumbling hands. These aren't ghosts. Men like him, soaked, scared. But war doesn't pause for that. Harlan's mind races cold. Ammo low. Half mag left. Shoulder throbs from the shrapnel, blood warm down his arm. Vest hangs heavy, cracked plates digging in. One wrong breath, and he folds. He spots the machine gun nest. NVA gunner sets up, belt feeding in. Sweeps left, raking the trench where Ellis fires from. Bullets chew sandbags, force the private down. Harlan moves, low run, 20 yards. Rain blurs his sight, but he knows the angle. From Pleiku, that sapper night. Rolled a grenade perfect, chain kills. Same here. Slides in behind. Gunner swings too late. Muzzle trails. Harlan jams the AK barrel into the man's neck. Fires. Muzzle blast lights the feed tray. Gunner slumps over the bipod. Assistant screams, grabs for a pistol. Harlan's knife ends it quick, slash across the throat. Blood sprays hot, mixes with rain. The nest goes quiet. Ellis rises, adds fire. Got your back, Sarge. 2 more NVA drop, trying to regroup. The platoon fractures. Some bolt back toward the tree line, slipping in the slurry. Others dig in, popping shots. Harlan grabs the satchel charge from the dead sapper's pack. Russian wiring, simple fuse. He's seen these, Highland's ambush, turned one against them. Lights it quick, hand steady. Hefts it, 30 pounds, heavy in the wet. Lowers shoulder, runs bent through the wire. Barbs snag his sleeve, tear flesh, ignores. The cluster, 8 men now, huddles at 40 yards, calling retreat. Bugle sounds faint from the dark. Harlan lobs it, arc perfect over their heads. Hits ground central, fuse hisses once. Detonation rips the night. Flash like lightning, white hot. Ground bucks throws Harlan flat. Ears ring deeper now, world muffled. Screams pierce high animal. Bodies fly twisted, dirt and limbs rain down. The blast wave rolls over him, presses the air from his lungs. He coughs blood, rolls to cover. By 2:52, silence falls heavy. Rain patters on the dead. Flares pop from the base, turn the hill grey. Footsteps pound, reinforcements, marine boots. Contact, clear the line! Shouts overlap. Harlan rises slow, AK dangling. Chest heaves, vision spotting black. Medics swarm first. One grabs his arm. Jesus, Sarge, thought you were KIA. Pulse was gone. Harlan nods, spits red into the mud. Not yet. They haul him back, probes the vest. Cracked clean through, lungs bruised bad. Morphine stings the vein, world softens. Ellis limps up, Ramirez slung over his shoulder. Ruiz didn't make it, but the line holds. Body count comes quick. 18 NVA confirmed, scattered like broken toys. Platoon wiped. Harlan's squad. 3 down, including Ruiz. Ramirez hangs on, leg amputated later. The assault crumbles across the hill. Base CP intact, no breach. Dawn breaks muddy, choppers thumping in with supplies. Brass arrives by noon. Colonel pins a field commendation right there, dirt under nails. You turned the tide, Sergeant. Those 30 seconds saved the flank. Harlan takes it quiet, eyes on the horizon. Navy Cross follows in Quang Tri Hospital. 2 weeks bedridden, ribs heal crooked, cough lingers months. He doesn't boast. Writes Mary, rough night, coming home soon. Khe Sanh grinds on till April. Siege lifts, but the war chews deeper. Harlan rotates stateside June 68. Lands in San Francisco, air clean, no traces. Factory job waits, Pittsburgh Mills. Steady grind like his dad. Marries Mary proper, 2 kids by 70. Lives quiet. Smokes on the porch, letters in the shoebox. Medal tucked in a drawer, rarely touched. Dies 98, heart attack at 59. Clean grave, no fanfare. Mary keeps the stories close. Wars like that. One breath, one choice, flips the chaos. Harlan didn't seek it, just did the math when it counted. In the end, that's what endures, not the medals. The will to rise when they say you're done.